Ever get that like shiver down your spine when you're about to download something new on your phone and you just, I don't know, get a bad feeling?
Hmm.
Well, today we're diving deep into a reason you absolutely should trust those instincts sometimes. We're talking Necro, a brand new piece of Android malware.
Yeah.
And get this, it's already infected or ready for it 11 million devices.
Wow. That's a lot. It's a big deal for sure. Anytime you see numbers that high. And what makes this one, Necro, really stand out, even more worrisome, I guess, is it acts as what we call a malware loader.
Okay, hold up. Malware, we know. Bad stuff, viruses for your phone, basically.
Right.
But loader, what's that mean?
So think of it this way. Most malware, it's got like one job. Steal your data, maybe it shows you a ton of ads, whatever.
Yeah.
Right. But Necro, this is like the delivery truck of malware.
Oh,
It gets in disguised as something normal, maybe even hitches a ride on an app you already use and trust, and then it's open season,
right.
downloads all kinds of other nasty stuff after that.
Yeah.
Your phone's compromised big time.
So like a Trojan horse situation,
Yeah,
sneaks in, drops the defenses for the whole invasion.
exactly.
And to make it worse, the articles you sent, they use some seriously intense words to describe how it does all this. Steganography? What even is that?
Straight out of a spy movie, right?
Right.
Basically, picture this.
Yeah.
You download a harmless-looking image, like a cat meme or a nice landscape photo. Right?
Totally.
You'd never suspect there's actually malicious code hidden in the image's data itself. That's steganography.
I am never looking at a cat meme the same way again.
Right.
But how are they even getting this past Google? 11 million downloads? That means this was on the Play Store, right?
Yep. And that's what's so wild. This is advanced stuff. The Kaspersky report, they dug into it, and Necro is exploiting these things called advertising SDKs. Now, those are actually legit. Lots of apps use them.
Okay.
Think of it like an SDK is a shortcut for app developers. They need a feature, like to show ads. The SDK's ready-made code saves them time.
So instead of building it themselves.
Exactly. But just like with any shortcut, if there's a weak point, it can bring down the whole thing. That's what's happening here. Necro is finding these little vulnerabilities in common SDKs, and bam, it's in, bypassing security checks like they're not even there.
So even being careful, downloading only from Google Play, it's still not a guarantee.
And that's the thing, right? This is why we got to stay on top of this stuff, because it can happen to anyone.
Okay, so we know Necro can be sneaky, but how is it actually getting onto people's phones?
Right.
The articles mention something about mods, which, I'll be honest, is not my area of expertise.
Yeah, mods, short for modifications. This is actually a big way Necro's spreading. Basically, they're like altered versions of apps you'd recognize,
Yeah.
but they offer like extra features or ways to get around the rules of the official version.
Okay, so like, I don't know, a Spotify mod that gets rid of ads without paying for premium, or a WhatsApp with like crazy themes and extra privacy stuff.
Exactly. And you see the appeal, right? Who wouldn't want all that extra stuff for free?
Right.
But here's the catch. These mods, they almost always come from, shall we say, less than official sources.
Mhm.
Sketchy websites, forums, that kind of thing. And those places, they're like breeding grounds for malware, like Necro.
So it's a risk-reward situation?
Big time.
Mm.
Those promises of free stuff, they come with a cost, and it's often your privacy. And honestly, that's not even the worst of it when it comes to Necro.
Oh, great. So what's the worst-case scenario here? What can this thing actually do once it's on your phone?
The articles, they don't sugarcoat it.
Mm-hmm.
On the less bad end, you've got like tons of annoying ads. Imagine your phone's just bombarded with pop-ups, even when you're not actively using any apps.
Yeah.
That's Necro, making money off your misery, basically. But it gets way worse.
Oh, goody.
Necro can install other junk on your phone without asking. So you start seeing weird app icons, stuff you never downloaded. And it eats your data, maybe has even more malware inside, who knows?
And because Necro's trying to be all sneaky, you might not even notice it first, right? And then there's the whole, like, identity theft angle. The article said something about Necro stealing info, too.
Oh, yeah. Passwords, credit card stuff, even your messages, anything you don't want out there, it's fair game.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets really scary. Imagine it gets its hands on your two-factor authentication codes. You know, those little codes they send to your phone to log in?
Uh-oh.
Compromised. Your most important accounts wide open.
Not good. So not only can Necro steal your data, but lock you out, too. That's rough. What else can this thing do?
Oh, I almost forgot. The Kaspersky report mentioned a plugin called, get this, InProxy.
And proxy, what in the world is that?
Basically, it lets the bad guys use your phone's internet as a disguise.
Mm-hmm.
So they do bad stuff online, but it looks like it's coming from you.
So you're not just the victim, you're an accomplice. Well, this is terrifying. But this is mostly for people downloading those risky mods, right? I mean, that's how it gets in, right?
It's a big one, yeah. But remember those SDKs we were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
Any app using a weak one could be carrying Necro, even on official stores. Like, it's not impossible.
So this really could happen to anybody. Great.
That's the thing, isn't it? Nobody's immune. That's why we got to be aware of this stuff.
So we've definitely established that Necro is, well, it's not good.
Not good at all.
But I don't want to freak everyone out. Before we all go throw our phones in the ocean, what can our listeners actually do? Knowledge is power, right?
100%. Knowing what you're up against, that's half the battle won already.
So where do we even start? Give us the rundown.
Well, the obvious one, and I know it's like a broken record, but stick to the official app stores whenever you can. Google Play, Apple Store, those are still your safest bet. They've got, at least some security measures in place.
Sure. But let's be real. Those free versions with all the bells and whistles, they can be tempting. Asking for a friend, of course. But what if you have to go off the beaten path, download-wise?
I get it. It's like a siren song, those extra features. If you do go that route, just be extra careful. Do your research first. Check reviews, but like from trustworthy places, look into the developers. Are they legit? Trust your gut, honestly. If something feels fishy, it probably is.
So be your own internet detective. Don't just click download willy-nilly.
Exactly. And those update notifications, the ones we all love to ignore, don't. Those are important. Keep your phones, software, your apps, everything as up-to-date as possible.
You mean the ones that pop up at the worst possible time and make you wait forever?
Yep, those are the ones. They often have security patches, little fixes that stop malware like Necro from weaseling its way in. Like locking your doors, basic digital hygiene.
Okay, no more hitting remind me later then. Those updates could be the difference between a healthy phone and, well, total digital chaos. What else?
Another thing to think about is a good mobile antivirus.
Oh, yeah, those are still a thing.
More important than ever, honestly. Think of it like insurance for your phone.
Love that.
It's constantly running, checking for anything suspicious, and blocking it before it becomes a problem. Small price to pay for peace of mind.
Totally. Okay, so we've got official stores, do your research, update religiously, and get an antivirus. Solid advice. But before we wrap up, this stuff changes so fast. Necro's scary now, but what about, like, next week? What's the long game here? How do we stay ahead of this stuff?
The million-dollar question, right? It's really about finding that balance.
Yeah.
We want all the cool tech, the newest apps, but we got to be smart about it, too.
Right.
Is that free premium version really worth the risk? That's the question we all got to keep asking ourselves.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Be aware, be careful, be proactive. That's how we navigate this crazy digital world, right?
Absolutely.
And on that note, we're out of time for today's deep dive into the wild world of Necro. Until next time, stay safe out there, folks.